Nathan Barnett, Ryan Roulard with you here from One Oak Field for Riders on Deck today as Frisco wraps up their three-game series against the Tulsa Drillers. And yesterday, Ryan, a rare come-from-behind defeat, but Frisco came out coming off a loss, scored runs early, showed some resiliency and some fight in them, and they're going to need that again here today to be able to capture a win, aren't they?
Yeah, that was the big key for me last night, I think. Coming off the shutout loss, a rarity for this team. They came out with a burst of fire early on, the 3-run first, another run in the second. They were knocking on the door in the third. And I think for them tonight, the key is maintaining that resiliency they came out with and now just sustaining it more over the course of the game. And this team has shown it's capable of doing that. They do that tonight, I think they'll be just fine.
And even though they didn't score after the second inning, they had base runners most of the game. So it's not as if that fire and that resiliency went away during the course of the contest as well. Another piece of resiliency maybe needed today is some from Sam Wolf, who has had some really tough starts. And I don't mean tough because bad. I mean tough because unlucky maybe, and sort of tough to swallow. Because Wolf, especially in his last start, was brilliant going into the sixth inning, took a shutout into the sixth, and basically had two bad pitches that cost him a lot of earned runs and ultimately a loss in the ball game. For Wolf, I think the question for him is, can he put together 85 to 95 pitches where he feels like he doesn't make a big mistake?
Right, and I think the key for him, too, is finishing off at bats. We've seen a lot of times this year where he's gone up 0-2 or 1-2, and that's the start. He's throwing strikes. He's not wild, but unable to finish those at bats off, and he's giving up base hits and ultimately runs. So for him tonight, it's about continuing to work that progression to the point where he can get to 0-2 and then put a guy away, or to 1-2 and finish a guy off. And if he can do that, I think we're going to see the Sam Wolf we saw earlier this year.
Yeah, and one thing that might play into Wolf's advantage so far, this has been a pretty pitcher-friendly park the first couple of days. We'll see how the wind is here at game time. Right now, the flags are blowing across the field from right to left, which is what we saw yesterday. Helps righties a little bit, hurts lefties at the plate, of which this team, Tulsa, has a lot of. But you look at the last couple of games, just one home run. It came very late in last night's ball game. So, can the RoughRiders play a One Oak Field game? They play at home. They play in a hitter-friendly environment. There's a lot of hitter-friendly environments in this league. Can they play in a more pitcher-friendly environment?
I think they can. This is a team that can go gap to gap a lot of times, too, which is perfect in a park like this. We saw Ronald Guzman hit the gap on Tuesday. Ryan Cordell did it a couple times last night. And so to be able to do that and then play your small ball. We saw some infield singles here last night as well. To mix that all together, this team is not atop the leaderboard in home runs, not even near the top. So this is not a team that needs the ball to clear the fence, and I think they'll be just fine playing in One Oak Field style ball tonight.
Yeah, it was suicide squeeze or safety squeeze last night from Tulsa was the go-ahead run, so that maybe is the kind of run the RoughRiders need to capture a victory here today. They try to salvage a game from this three-game set before heading to Springfield. This was Riders on Deck. He's Ryan Roulard. I'm Nathan Barnett, and we'll see you next time.